Beneath the endless expanse of desert, where the sun burns hot by day and the stars blaze with icy clarity at night, legends speak of a place buried deep under the shifting dunes, a labyrinth known as the Secret Crypts of Duat. The name itself stirs awe and unease, for Duat was the realm of the dead in ancient Egyptian belief, a place where souls journeyed through trials before reaching judgment. To hear that such a place might exist, hidden not in myth but beneath the sands themselves, has long fascinated explorers, scholars, and treasure seekers alike. The crypts are said to be eternal, untouched by time, a sanctuary of secrets buried by the ancients to conceal knowledge and power that mortals were never meant to wield. The origins of the secret crypts remain a mystery. Some claim they were built by the first pharaohs, kings desperate to ensure safe passage into the afterlife by creating earthly versions of the divine trials. Others suggest that the crypts predate Egypt itself, constructed by beings who walked the earth before recorded history. The sheer scale of the legends makes it hard to separate truth from myth. What is certain, however, is that desert nomads and locals of the Nile Valley have spoken for generations of hidden entrances, swallowed by the sands, which lead to chambers unlike any tomb ever discovered. Those who claim to have glimpsed the crypts describe narrow tunnels lined with hieroglyphs that glow faintly, as though the stone itself remembers the fire of creation. The air is heavy and unmoving, carrying the weight of centuries. Carvings on the walls do not simply tell stories, but seem to shift when watched, changing from one image to another, recounting different stages of the soul's journey. Statues of jackal-headed guardians and serpent deities flank intersections of the labyrinth, their eyes carved so realistically that travelers swear they follow you. The deeper one ventures, the more oppressive the silence becomes, broken only by the echo of one's own heartbeat. Legends say that the crypts are not only burial sites, but gateways. In Egyptian lore, the Duat was a realm traversed by the sun god Ra each night, filled with rivers of fire, lakes of darkness, and fearsome guardians who tested souls. The crypts, according to myth, are fragments of this realm carved into the earth, a merging of the physical and spiritual worlds. To step into them is to step closer to the underworld, where the barriers between life and death grow thin. Many who enter are said to hear whispers calling their names, voices of ancestors or perhaps entities much older, beckoning them deeper into the labyrinth. Throughout history, countless expeditions have sought the crypts. In the 19th century, when Egyptomania swept across Europe, tales of lost crypts inspired explorers to comb the desert with dreams of treasure and glory. Some returned with strange artifacts, amulets shaped like stars, fragments of black stone etched with unknown symbols, but most came back empty-handed. Their journals filled with stories of sandstorms that rose suddenly, erasing landmarks and burying entire camps. Others vanished without a trace, their names becoming cautionary tales for future adventurers. Even modern archaeologists, armed with technology, have been thwarted by the desert's shifting nature. Radar scans sometimes reveal vast hollow spaces beneath the dunes, only for them to vanish days later, as if the sands themselves conspire to guard the secret. The allure of the crypts lies not only in their potential treasures, but in the mysteries they promise to reveal. Ancient Egyptian texts speak of the books of the dead, manuals guiding the soul through the afterlife. Some scholars believe that the true, complete texts were never written on papyrus, but inscribed in stone deep within the crypts. There are also references to the Black Sun, a hidden source of power said to rest in the heart of Duat, which grants knowledge of the cosmos and dominion over time. If the crypts indeed exist, they may contain wisdom lost for millennia, knowledge that could alter humanity's understanding of life, death, and the universe itself. But with knowledge comes danger. Myths warn of trials awaiting those who trespass. Rivers of starlight said to flow across the floors, flames that burn without consuming, and guardians of stone and spirit who test the purity of one's heart. Some explorers claim to have witnessed such phenomena. A French adventurer in the early 1900s reportedly described a chamber where the ceiling glittered like the night sky, and when he touched the stars, he was shown visions of his past and future. He fled the crypt, terrified, and died within a year, convinced that the visions had cursed him. Others told of walking for hours in tunnels that circled back to the same chamber, as if the crypts themselves shifted to trap intruders. The locals hold their own beliefs about the secret crypts. To them, the desert is alive, a vast and watchful guardian. The crypts are sacred, a place meant for the souls of kings and gods, not for mortals seeking gold. Elders warn that those who disturb the crypts awaken forces that should remain at rest. Stories abound of entire caravans swallowed by the desert after boasting of finding an entrance. Even today, many nomads refuse to guide outsiders near the rumored sites, insisting that curses guard the sands and that those who defy them will meet swift retribution. Despite the warnings, fascination persists. Modern theories suggest the crypts could be real structures, perhaps ancient complexes lost beneath the desert, much like the Valley of the Kings. Some archaeologists believe shifting sands and earthquakes may have buried entire temples, leaving only fragments for modern discovery. Others entertain more speculative ideas that the crypts are not human constructions at all, but remnants of a civilization predating recorded history, one whose knowledge was later woven into Egyptian myth. Could the crypts hold evidence of such a forgotten age? Could they bridge the gap between history and legend? The imagery tied to the secret crypts of Duat is haunting. Imagine descending into the earth, torchlight flickering against walls of sandstone carved with hieroglyphs older than any found in temples. Imagine finding a chamber so vast it feels like a cathedral, its ceiling lost in darkness, and on the floor, rivers of glowing dust flowing like liquid stars. Imagine hearing voices chanting in forgotten tongues, their sound coming not from the air, but from within your own mind. These are not just tombs. They are experiences of eternity itself. And yet, perhaps the greatest mystery of all is whether the crypts even exist. For every tale of discovery, there are 10 of deception, hoaxes crafted to lure funding or fame. Skeptics argue that the crypts are nothing more than legend, born from misinterpretations of Egyptian mythology. The Duat, they insist, is spiritual, not physical, and the desert hides no gateways to the afterlife. But myths endure for a reason, and the persistence of the story across cultures and centuries suggests that at its core, there may be truth waiting to be unearthed. The secret crypts of Duat remain a paradox, simultaneously a dream and a nightmare, a promise of enlightenment and a threat of destruction. They remind us of humanity's endless hunger to know what lies beyond death, to pierce the veil that separates the living from the eternal. Whether they are real chambers hidden beneath the sands or symbolic constructs of myth, their legend carries weight. They caution us that some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. One day, perhaps, the sands will shift and the entrance to the crypts will reveal itself. Brave souls will descend, chasing truth through winding passages, confronting trials of mind and spirit, and maybe, just maybe, emerging with answers. Or perhaps the desert will keep its secret forever, burying the crypts deeper with each passing storm, ensuring that the mysteries of Duat remain eternal. Until then, the secret crypts endure in whispers, stories, and dreams, a reminder of humanity's eternal quest to uncover the unknown and the price that may come with it.